For today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
We're going to do something that we don't normally do. Very rarely have we ever, as far as trendy stuff, because there's everybody doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But today we're gonna join that everybody.
Yeah.
Because I watched the interview between Tucker Carlson and Vladimir Putin.
You did?
I did.
And you actually enjoyed a lot of it.
Yeah. I was enwrapped.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and especially when Putin was discussing the history of Russia, and he was going back all the way into 1300s and different things like that, and how important it is that people understand history.
Yes.
And that was one of the things that Orwell in his book 1984 warned about. And that is something that is being erased in America today.
It is.
And in a lot of Western society. and there's... This is bigger than the talking heads on the screens. Lots.
It's global.
It is.
It's a global agenda.
It is a global agenda. And this is something we've known that for a very long time as far as forces of darkness. Mm-hmm. And this is ultimately a spiritual battle.
It is.
And I was absolutely amazed to see the propaganda machine spin this thing before it even happened.
Right. I mean, they're just making up, they're pulling shit out of their ass.
They are.
Just so that they can try to be like, no, he's wrong. Russian man bad.
Right. And that is, they were so afraid. The main thing that they didn't want done was to humanize.
Yeah, they didn't want to humanize Putin.
Right. And I will tell you this, there were times that I have deep respect for Tucker Carlson because he obviously has balls of steel. This was not a light, fluffy, pat him on the head, pat him on the ass, softball interview at all. It was, honest to God, old school, real journalism.
See, I didn't listen.
And it was incredible.
Mm-hmm. Well, you listened to the whole thing like you were just...
Yes.
Enthralled.
Because I have been a news hound most of my life. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's that moon in Gemini. I blame that moon in Gemini.
But he was actually exposing a lot of shit.
Yes, he was.
And he was talking about how this country is not a democracy. It's
right. It's whoever is running the show.
And also that this is communist country now.
Yeah, it has been for a while. Mm-hmm. And that was the main veil that was pulled back.
It was. It really was.
For the normies to see, to sit there and go, oh my God, our government, we're the baddies. Not the people.
Yeah. It's
never the people. It's always the ones that are using the people as just fodder, as pawns, means to an end, that the people are expendable.
Minus Putin alone, minus him, people have been waking up to that fact.
Mm-hmm. And this is what the global elite, and this, David Icke has been saying this for a very long time. And God love him, he's another one. He's weary. Alex Jones is weary.
Yep.
Some of these people that have been fighting against this, that they have been given a position of power that some of the rest of us have not been. I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
You know, that they are doing their job, which is why these people need our prayers. Mm-hmm. That they had the balls to be on the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've got courts that have been weaponized against citizens.
Yes. The fact that they are challenging our government openly like that takes a lot of bravery. Balls of steel.
And I will tell anybody who's out there that has done something, that has worked on the side of the forces of darkness to hurt their fellow humans, fellow citizens, different things like that. The excuse, I was just following orders, didn't work the other time, and damn it won't work now. Nope. You explain it to God.
Yeah.
Because that's ultimately who you're going to stand before.
Mm-hmm. And Putin even talked about that.
Yeah.
He is very much a believer.
He is a man of faith.
Yeah.
And that was something even Tucker Carlson, who is very much a man of faith, pushed Putin on that point. He's like, how do you reconcile this? And it wasn't one of the, because when these people are leaders of countries and they speak in a very diplomatic way, which for the most part is doublespeak. Mm-hmm. And you have to listen between the words. But it's like, I have heard Putin speak other times about faith. And that was one of the things I had told Kid, because in some of these other nations, they are tearing down and allowing people to burn down places of worship. Russia's been building them up.
Yeah.
He even spoke about different religions. He said that it was a matter of the motherland, regardless of your position of faith. That it was, that being Russian was the unifying force. And he said, this conflict with the Ukraine, he said, ultimately it's almost like a civil war. And we will, at some point in time, join back together and be one, because you cannot separate spirit.
Nope, you cannot.
It was intense.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as Tucker asking him to release a journalist that is being held over there, he did.
He did.
He just flat out. And Putin was not expecting it. You could see sort of the look on his face. It was sort of like, And he's like, we are, supposedly the journalist, he has been charged on espionage. Mm-hmm. And that's a common term. But he was like, as far as people being in touch, our people will be in touch with your people. And different things like that. And so, at the end of the conversation, he's like, we've had other exchanges as far as like, prisoner swaps, if you want to say that, that have ended well. He said, I expect this will end well also. And I'm like, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. But it's incredible.
Yep.
And how so many in the world were afraid to allow two men to speak. Yeah. One to ask questions, the other to answer.
It's because they knew it would blow the top on a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
They didn't want that top, gone.
No, like I said, I had heard RT, which is Russian television. It's state-sponsored, but that is another wonderful thing about Rumble. You can still go on there and watch that.
You can.
The UFTube yeeted it a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. But Rumble, they got it. They allow it.
Yeah. And so you can catch interviews with Putin every now and then. And the one I had watched was about his faith. And, you've always got these people, they're lying. Everybody's lying and blah, blah, blah. House, if you ever went and watched the show House, everybody lies.
Yeah.
It was an incredible show. Mm-hmm. We all lie. Some of it is big lies. Some of it's lies to prevent other people from being hurt. One of the best ones was this person that he could not lie, and the chaos it caused. Now, you can speak truth without it being a lie. Mm-hmm. It's how you present truth. You don't have to use it as a bludgeon.
So you can either be delicate or indelicate.
Sure. Now, it depends on the situation, the time, and the circumstance.
There are some people out there that they have no inkling of being delicate. They are indelicate no matter the occasion.
Well, that's usually me, but I am that person.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about other people, because this one person was like the person had absolutely no thought. They were just straightforward, like, what? Because they talking about like performance stuff. This is like LA, the Hollywood, behind the scenes show business stuff.
How the hell would they know what truth is out there?
Person was like, I either take this day off or I'm going to come in a wrecking ball, because they were going to rehab or something like that. They had to go to rehab. Mm-hmm. And the person was like, what? So they can call out like 2 days early before the shoot?
Well, that was a personal problem.
And then the person was like, or the PA, I think, was like, yeah, they're the talent, and so they can't really, we need them to be good so we can get the show going. And she's like, I guess.
Well, like I said, that it's a totally different microcosm in and of itself.
But she had no inkling of being delicate.
Yeah, well, like I said, there's a time and a place for all these things. Mm-hmm. But with this interview, it was historic for a multitude of reasons.
It was.
And I will have to go back, and there will be people that will sit there and pick it apart down to the atom. It's like, oh, well, the earlobes don't match. The nasal folds, they don't match. It was this, it was that, and it was... My God, I mean, I don my tinfoil hat lots. Mm-hmm. But at a certain point in time, you sort of have to put it to the side and go, just let me experience this as a whole.
It's like, these are not skin suits. They are not wearing skin suits.
And it was, like I said, this was a historic thing.
It was. But people will always nitpick and cherry pick stuff from this.
Sure they will.
And it needs to be looked at as a whole.
It does. And then other people can go and they can analyze it. And my God, people will run with this until the Super Bowl. And then they'll run with that, the next thing. Mm-hmm. Personally, sports are all right. I don't give a shit who wins, nothing like that.
Right.
I care that God made a way for these two men to communicate, and that the gatekeepers couldn't stop it.
Nope. The forces of darkness did not prevail this time.
They did not. And it lasts a little bit over 2 hours.
I mean, that's a good chunk of time, but that's enough time to get a lot of information in.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. And so, you'll be able to find snippets of it. I actually watched it on Tucker Carlson's network, because I did subscribe to that, because why would I not?
Right.
That was one of the things with my few, dollars. I'm very sparing with my dollars. But to support this person who was able to do this. Mm-hmm. And like I said, Carlson is a character in and of himself. He's like a kid in a lot of ways. Just that inquisitiveness. And, at one point in time, he was asking Putin, who blew up the pipeline, Nord Stream pipeline. And Putin said, you did. And Carlson was like, Me? No, I didn't. And I had to tell Kid, I said, Putin was actually joking. And Carlson didn't know what to do about it because you know that there were armed people everywhere.
Oh yeah, so
And
he was
that
freaking
all
out.
that Putin had to do was sort of head bobble, and then it would have been just like, oh, oof, that was a tragic accident that happened.
Mm-hmm.
But Putin wouldn't have done that. If he was going to do that, he would have never allowed this man audience.
Right. Right.
And
he
I
wouldn't have
can't-
allowed him to press him like he did.
No. I think that it was a matter of mutual respect.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also mutual sort of trepidation.
What does that mean, trepidation?
It sort of on the edge,
Okay.
gauging each other's motives.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I'm so glad that I am not any kind of... I enjoy being a podling. Because as far as having the responsibility on my head and shoulders and soul of the lives of others. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something that's like, oh, that's a lot of responsibility that God has given them.
Yeah. But there's a lot of them that don't see it as that.
Mm-mm.
But as far as the powers that be that control the puppets on the string, it was saying the quiet part out loud was exactly what it was. It was validation and verification for the things that a lot of us had known for a very long time.
Yep. Yep.
And to sit back and see how the propaganda machine, the MK Ultra machine, all these other things like that, how they're going to, it's going to be interesting.
It is. It really is. I mean, it's going to be an interesting eon.
Yeah.
Eon. Age of Aquarius.
Yeah.
Age.
Yeah, it can flip on a dime.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But I do urge you, go on, and I'm sure that some of these other platforms, and even, I had even looked on the YouTube before we started recording,
Yeah.
and I don't know how much of the interview that they had on there, but they did have part of it on there.
Okay.
Because I guess they knew that they were going to be blown out of the water by everybody else that was going to carry it.
Yeah.
One journal. If you ever think that one person can't make a difference, that's all that ever has made a difference. One.
Mm-hmm.
But together we are many.
Yep. There's more of us than there are of them.
Uh-huh. And like I said, David Icke has been saying that. And as far as this great awakening, and it's like these people that have dug bunkers and all this bunch of stuff and everything like that. If you under the ground, it don't take a whole lot to lock the door to where you can't get back up.
Right. What if it's one of those electric locks?
It don't matter.
And so it permanently locks shut.
Yeah.
No way of getting out.
God can do all things. Do you think that he couldn't shut the door? He shut the door on the ark.
He did. I know he could shut the door on those bunkers.
Mm-hmm. Let them be trapped down there by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they want to serve the one that's, from beneath, have at it. Have at it. Those of us, leave us up here on the surface to see the sun.
Yeah.
In many and sundry ways.
Yes.
Final thoughts, kid?
Oh, interesting time that we're living in.
Isn't it, though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
Never a dull moment.
No.
So, this, like I said, spiritual warfare.
Yes.
Pray. Continue to pray. Prayers matter.
Yep.
And let your little light shine.
Mm-hmm.
If you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com, and that is there in the description box.
Yeah, and if you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and most of all, subscribe. Thank you all. And have a good. I'm still getting used to not saying the click that notification button because it doesn't do shit.
Well, click it anyhow.
Click it in. Yeah.
Click it anyhow. It don't matter. Just click it. Just for shits and giggles.
I mean, I guess it's interaction in either way.
I don't know. I don't know how it works. I don't know how it works.
I give it a ding.
We be ghost ship pirate radio right
For
now.
now.
That's what we are.
For now.
Well, yeah, we have plans. We have plans.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyhow, know that you are very loved. If you're having a bad day, doesn't matter. You're still loved.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of yourself.
Yes.
And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Bye.